Hey guys, welcome back. So I haven't really done like a certain pick a card reading like in this usual format in a while. Like I've just been doing like my 1 minute TikToks or extracting from the lives or something. So I just wanted to do another pick a card, and I really want to focus not just on like soulmate and twin flame and crushes and all that stuff like that. I just want to focus on like 12th house energy. Now this doesn't have to directly be your 12th house. Obviously everyone's natal chart is very different, but basically the 12th house talks about like the main karma in your life that you have to like deal with, overcome, and things that you might keep hidden, from other people. So yeah, we're going to look into that and just see like what your lifetime karma is, okay? And I think this would be a very healing message, just to kind of get these messages and basically get more in tune with yourself, and maybe some advice from spirit as we're going along, okay? Because it could be something, if you're not really that into astrology in your natal chart, it might be something that you never even really knew was your karma, okay? So yeah, we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. And basically when I was shuffling them, I did see like each one of these has like a major arcana card that does correlate with the zodiac sign. So for some of you, when watching it, if like listen to that zodiac sign, pay attention to it, and then go on Cafe Astrology and look at your 12th house and see if it's actually accurate, then the message will especially apply to you, okay? And it might not be exactly the same, because it will be, everything involving your chart, not just like that one standalone thing, but basically it'll pick up on the energy from all of your chart most likely, and obviously this is general reading, so just take what resonates, but it will pick up on a lot of your energy for most of you, however your birth charts are like created, however they're articulated. This is just going to focus on the karmic cycles in your life, okay? So even if it's not exactly the zodiac that's in your 12th house, you could still relate to the energy, okay? So we're just going to get started. Again, this is going to be a little bit of a darker energy reading, but I think it's best for this tarot community, especially people who have been dealing with like the spiritual awakening for a while, to just kind of tap into deeper things, than just like material stuff or your love life. I just wanted to kind of take a break from that right now. Obviously I'll go back to it, probably next video or something, but right now I really just want to tap into this energy more than anything. I just felt very called to do it, okay? So yeah, pile 1, the chakra bracelet, pile 2, this purple bracelet, and pile 3, the evil eye bracelet, okay? Let's just begin, all right? Also, I post this on my community page. I added more like affordable, cheaper readings, different options, like yes or no questions, a 1 minute reading, like a TikTok type of thing, a little detailed palm reading, just basic reading of your palm, just like stuff like that. And also I put in this type of karmic reading, but more personalized. I put that on my website too, so you can check that out. I'm gonna link my website and Cafe Astrology in my description, so you can, see for yourself and get to know yourself better, to trigger a better healing, basically. Okay. A lot of mosquitoes in here. Oh my god. Okay, so pile number 1, the chakra bracelet. What is your 12th house? What's your karma? Okay. We have the 2 of Cups, the Chariot, which is Cancer, the Knight of Pentacles, the 8 of Swords, the 10 of Cups, the Fool card, the Temperance, which is Sagittarius energy, and the Chariot again in the reverse. So definitely Cancer could be in your 12th house. It doesn't have to be. You also could have Temperance in there, Sagittarius in there. So if you're a Sagittarius, wherever that sign is, it could also be in your 12th house, okay? Or your 12th house could be in Sagittarius, whatever. Okay, we have make the effort in the reverse, healing family issues. Okay, so this could definitely be about family issues and also stuff just about general union. And then just advice in the near future, like in the reverse. Okay, or you know, insight. Doesn't necessarily have to be advice from spirit, but that was the advice card. Okay, I definitely do feel like this could be a lot to do with family. Okay, Cancer in the 12th house does have to do with family issues. Okay, that's one of the things. Another thing, basically just going off of what the zodiac signs mean, if it's in your 12th house, it just means that like it could be lacking, you know, that type of thing. So for Cancer, it's all about emotions and sensing and feelings, you know, security, caring. Okay, so you could have trouble really expressing your feelings in a effective way to people, and that could be something that you've dealt with your entire life, whether you just kind of felt like trapped and couldn't really move forward, like a self-victimization type of thing. I feel like you probably internalize your thoughts a lot throughout your entire life. Like when you're mad, you're not really one to yell. You probably just sit there and like basically simmer in your anger, and it just builds up more and more, and you could hold a grudge. You could think about it for a long time, and it could kind of it can almost cause like an imbalance, or it takes a long time for you to let that energy go and go back to being balanced. Okay, so you could have like a lot of like wishy-washy emotions. Okay, and this could have to do with how you were raised. Maybe you were told when you were younger that you were too sensitive or something, so maybe, you know, as you got older, you felt that expressing your emotions meant that you were hypersensitive, so you tried to just dial back and just keep your emotions to yourself. And the opposite of that would be maybe if you were like just a very private person, you know, and when you were younger, and you didn't really know how to express your emotions at all, and maybe like, you know, your family just sees you as like this very cold person that like has no emotions whatsoever, and you're probably just, you know, you're probably used to that. Okay, that's the other side of it. So, you know, because holding in your emotions, you know, is a normal for you, you don't really know how to express them now. Okay, and this could really affect relationships that you have, like, you know, like really significant unions. Like I'm talking like, you know, soulmate, you know, your future spouse. Okay, I kind of feel like what could be triggering this like acknowledgement of this karma that you have was from a soulmate connection. Okay, like whether it's about sensitivity or whatever, like maybe like, you know, you were one that, yeah, you never really spoke about your emotions. You kept it to yourself. You know, you would probably, you know, sit in your room and cry if you were upset about something, whatever. But like basically, you would just run away from your feelings since a young age. And then maybe as you got older, or as after like you met your soulmate connection, your future like spouse, your love interest, you probably suddenly got like a gust of emotions where it was almost like a 180 for people. Like people were probably just like, what happened? Like you know, like when, hey, we knew you were sensitive, but now you get so sensitive about literally everything. And I feel like that could be a thing where you have a lot of pent up resentment from your entire life, that like it triggers the smaller things, like little things that happen that have nothing to do with anything. It could trigger you because you're just thinking about, you know, when you were a kid, and when your, you know, parents or siblings did this or whatever, and you felt like, you know, some type of abandonment, you know, as a child or whatever. I just feel like this really had an impact on how you interact with people in your life. And again, just a lot about family stuff. Okay, so like your main karma literally could just be family, just literally however you were brought up. Okay, so again, like I'm trying to think of like an example. Like you could get in like a small argument with like a sibling or maybe a parent or whatever, and it ends up making you think about, you know, when you were a kid and how they used to make you feel shitty about yourself, or, you know, or like, oh, they insulted you before, or they made you insecure, or, you know, whatever, like just like a lot of childhood resentment that basically it comes up. And I feel like that's a lot of shadow work that you're facing right now while you're in your awakening. So, you know, you could be up at like, you know, 4 in the morning just remembering every little thing and every reason why you have issues with one of your parents or both of your parents or one of your siblings or whatever, and feeling like it's not compatible. And you probably do feel like a family member is a karmic for you, and like, you know, because you know, I feel like for some of you who are in like these spiritual connections with someone, like, you know, loving wise, you probably hear, you know, karmic third party and you immediately think about like, oh, another love interest or something, but you're just like, well, I don't have any karma, you know, they have karma because they have relationships, I've never been in a relationship or whatever. But in your case, your karmic partner, your karmic energy in general is family. It's not another love interest, okay? Because again, some of you could have, you know, been single your entire life, whatever. But yeah, so meeting this person, I feel like you think about family life, and it's like you want better for your future family, your children, you know, your pets, your whatever, you know, most likely children, but obviously not everyone wants children. But you know, you want better for you and your spouse, and you know, you want to kind of make up for any moments where you felt like abandoned as a child or let down, okay? I feel like you may have tried to blind yourself from the toxicity in your family life growing up, because that's how you grew up. That was the norm for you, like I said earlier. That was something that you were used to, so to you it was normal. But then maybe once you know, once you enter like a new phase in your life, maybe some energy, the way how you express yourself around other people, whatever, maybe they pointed it out. Maybe they were just like, why would you say that, that's so toxic? Or you know, maybe one day you know, say if you're like in college or talking to work colleagues or just new friends, maybe you're just like, oh yeah, my parents used to do this, whatever, you know, just something like that, or my siblings did this. And I can imagine just someone being like, that's really toxic, you didn't like, or that's really manipulative, that's really abusive, or mentally abusive, or you know, verbally, emotionally abusive, whatever, or physically abusive. And you know, or that's very neglectful, you know, like, oh, that's terrible, you know. You probably get surprised when you find out how people are so close to their family, you know, and you're just like, I've never had that before, you know. Or maybe at points you did, but you didn't really, it wasn't like a genuine type of connection. Like it might be more like materialistic things, or you know, like maybe you were like pretty well off, you know, had some, you know, like pretty good money going in, you know, like you never really in a struggle, not really, or not for, or for the most part, you know, you probably always had a birthday party, or a birthday cake, or you know, maybe you went on vacations here and there, or you know, little fun places, and you know, you got to go to events in school, and like you never had to stay behind. But I feel like the emotional support may not have been there, you know? So it's like the love that was shown to you was more in the materialistic realm, and then once you basically left home, you know, started a new phase in your life, you realized that there actually is more than that. And you were kind of surprised. It was almost like a culture shock to you. Okay, maybe you know, your soulmate, maybe they have a great relationship with their family, maybe they have, you know, parents who like are together, still together, not like divorced, or you know, or just general, maybe you've had friends in like whatever when you're younger, and their parents were married, they're happy together, they weren't like, you know, divorced or fighting or constantly yelling at each other, whatever. Some of you could have parents that stayed together just basically just for the sake of the kids, but they weren't happy, and that probably was more harmful than if they were to just break up, okay? You know, it's just stuff like that. But I feel like obviously that's not going to apply for like every single person, okay? Some of you could have like issues with your mother, okay? Maybe like a single mom or something. but I feel like they're probably like almost emotionally detached in some way, or like very self-destructive, okay? Because there's just a lot of feminine energy here, okay? Basically, for some of you, either you don't really have that many issues with your father figure, or they flat out just weren't around, so you're not really thinking about it. I don't know. Because some of you, I don't really see like a father figure that present, but yeah, your parents could be like divorced or something, and this could be like your father, you know, kind of going away. They could be very immature for their age. Maybe your mom is the one that really heads the household, makes more money, you know, is like the main caregiver, is probably very stressful for them. So maybe they're one to kind of like, you know, maybe like almost take anger out on the family, or for those of you, if you are females, maybe you kind of were delegated as like the second parent of the household, had to take care of your younger siblings, couldn't really enjoy your young life. Maybe there was a certain point in your life when you were like in your adolescence that you suddenly had to, you know, out of nowhere basically help take care of the family, okay? Jesus. And yeah, just this feeling of like feeling stuck and that you really couldn't go anywhere, okay? And I just feel like a lot of like dependency, where it's like you kind of want to leave, or maybe you couldn't wait to leave, but at the same time you know that you couldn't, because you pretty much depend on your family for all of your finances and everything. So like, you know that logically you can't really go anywhere until you're stable, so you basically just have to kind of wait, okay? Because I see a lot of patience here. It's like this immature energy, you know. I'm not addressing a single person, I'm just kind of reading whatever I'm finding here. So for some of you guys, while this could be like a father figure, immature, whatever, this could also be a brother, you know. Or I'm also seeing that this could even be your energy for some of you with that whole money situation, because it's just like a slow moving energy and this person is facing away. So maybe, yeah, wanting to move away, or basically having that feeling of like, I can't wait to move out, I can't wait to get my own place, I can't wait to go off to college. You know, basically always looking forward to certain phases in your life when you leave home, because I just feel like your family life, you don't really love it all that much. Not to say that it was like absolutely terrible. It might not have even really been abusive. Maybe other people from the outside looking in would say that you had a great life with your family, but you know what actually happens. You know what's going on, okay? So again, it could be more like your family seems very well off and put together, and you go on nice trips, and you live in a nice house, and you've always had clothes on your back, and you basically have had everything that you could have ever wanted materialistic wise. But maybe at the same time, they never went to a game or a performance or a, you know, an assembly or concert, whatever, a talent show, blah blah. That maybe they just had like ridiculously high expectations and nothing was ever good enough. Maybe they were very strict, so you couldn't really enjoy your youthful, like your adolescence, and maybe you weren't allowed to date, maybe you weren't allowed to really go out that much, whatever. Maybe you weren't allowed to really drive anywhere, even if you had your license, blah blah. Like, you know, there's just this like rigid, almost like a helicopter parent. It's like they're not entirely strict. Like there was some leniency there, but at the same time there were some moments where it's like, you know, they either, you know, weren't strict at all, or like, you know, they're laid back, and in other instances they were so strict that like you it just felt weird. Like it felt like you couldn't even enjoy, you know, because again with the whole like, you know, dating thing, you know, when you're a teenager you date, that's a thing, you know. So like your parents could very much be like, you're not allowed to date, whatever. Or maybe feeling that level of strictness from them. Yeah, maybe that made you afraid to ever really get involved with someone, you know, like afraid to go out with anyone, have a boyfriend or girlfriend, because you didn't want to have to tell your parents, oh, I like someone, I'm dating someone, because you didn't want them to scold you and be like, you're not allowed to date, you know. So you could have had like love interest crushes, but you never expressed your feelings to them because you felt like your parental figures, whatever, would hold you back and stop it from happening, you know. So you never even tried, you know. They probably may not have actually said no, but you felt like they would, so you didn't bother even going through any of that to ask, you know. Because I'm also seeing like mutual feelings but having to walk away from your feelings, okay? So like for those of you who've never been in a relationship, think about old love interests that you've had, crushes back in like high school or whatever, you know, and just think about why did you not date them. Or maybe even if it's not necessarily that your parents were strict and wouldn't let you go out with them, maybe you can be like, there was like a moment when your family life was very unstable. It might not have always been like that. It could have been like almost like a temporary situation that made your family very unstable, or a temporary phase in your life. But maybe you were afraid to bring someone home to that, so you just didn't, okay? For others of you, if you were in relationships, you could have gotten to a relationship for like the wrong reasons, maybe just like a very insecure phase in your life, and you just kind of wanted this feeling of being loved, you know. So you jumped into a relationship with someone that really wasn't the best for you. Like maybe like as you were together, you know, you started to realize how like maybe manipulative they were, kind of toxic they were, and you got fed up with it. And they could have mirrored your family life, because it could have been a karmic type of person that was brought into your life just to show you like these cycles that you allow to happen, or you know, allow to happen in your life, okay? Or I'm also kind of seeing that like you're used to it with your family, but then when it comes to people that you're not related to, when they treat you a certain way, it could be they could treat you literally the same way that your family treats you sometimes. But when it's a person outside of your family that treats you like that, that's when you notice how toxic it is, and you're like, that's not okay. Because subconsciously you're being triggered into like realizing like, no, these people are toxic for me and they shouldn't be talking to me like that. And you basically like, you know, you made the decision to cut them out of your life, basically, so spirit can be like, you see how easy it is to cut these people out of your life, but then there's still this energy of being like, well, I can't cut my family, you know, like I depend on them financially, I live with them, I can't cut them out of my life, like what am I gonna do, you know? So it could be something like that. I see. We have in the near future in the reverse. I feel like this is like a lifelong process. If you've already had your like an awakening that's already been triggered, you could be on your way to healing these issues with family, you know. But for some of you, it might not happen overnight, okay? Within the near future, because it's in the reverse, I'm kind of getting the feeling that it's not in the near future. there might be like smaller moments where you get along with them better, or you feel like things are going good, but then it kind of, again, the smallest thing ticks you off again. So I feel like it's going to be like a little cycle that you're going to have to go through for a long time. Okay? I don't know, I just feel like some of you, maybe in your love life that could be coming, your soulmate, whatever connection, maybe they just have a really great relationship within their family. Maybe that family will just kind of take you in as their own, and you'll feel that love of a family, and you won't feel like you're part of a dysfunctional family anymore once you're in this, you know, like with your in-laws, basically. Okay. Whew. But yeah, I just feel like in the near future card, you could be just getting exposed to a situation that's very different from the one that you've come to know throughout your entire life. Okay? But then for some of you, I'm kind of getting at this is more past energy, so it could have been in the recent past instead of near future. The recent past is when you started to realize this toxicity was there, when you really started to realize that, you know, your family is your karma, and that's why you can't, and that's why it's hard to make the effort, it's hard to open up about your emotions, whatever, like, you know, stuff like that. You probably realized that very recently, you know, it could have been like a couple years ago. Just think about the entire span of your life. I know most of my viewers are older than like 18 years old, so just, you know, think about, you know, even just say 20 years of your life. 1 year is a very short distance, you know, so that could be like a recent future, okay, like your recent future, your recent past, where you've come to realize this energy, okay? So yeah, just like a new life phase, okay? Just yeah, entering a university or community college, or, you know, a new job or whatever, and just, you know, making new friends, new colleagues, whatever, new love interests, and then like you just suddenly started realizing that the life that you grew up with was toxic, basically, okay? So I feel like that's your 12th house energy, okay? So yeah, check your chart on Cafe Astrology and see if you actually do have Cancer in your 12th house. This will resonate even more for you, and you can like really look into that. It just tells you what it is. It doesn't really say how to fix it or how to solve it. It just tells you, but if you, at least if you know about it, then you can like address it and work on healing it, as opposed to walking around thinking, what is my karma? Because you might not see it until someone else basically tells you in a reading, you know? So, because then it's brought into light, okay? So I hope that resonated, guys. And, yeah, I'll see you guys soon. If you're watching this the day that I upload it, then I will see you for my live reading on Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can ask questions after I do general messages for people. You can ask questions for free. You can tip me through Super Chat or PayPal, and I'll read for you first before the other people, basically. But the questions, I do offer free questions on there. You know, you can interact with me. It's a lot of fun talking to my followers, my subscribers on my YouTube lives. It's like a lot of fun hanging out with you guys and just doing little mini readings, okay? Follow Breeze Tarot on TikTok. I do 1-minute readings, like really quick energy messages, and there's a lot of readers on TikTok as well that you can take a look at. Check out my website, which is in my description, Cafe Astrology again, just to get more insight about your chart and you know, get more information about that. And yes, I'll see you next time, okay? Okay, so for those of you who chose pile number 2, what's your 12th house energy? Your karmic energy, the karma in your life. Okay, 10 of Cups, Knight of Cups, the Star, so there could be Aquarius in your 12th house, the King of Swords, the 3 of Swords, Page of Cups in the reverse, Strength card, so you could also have Leo somewhere in your chart that interacts with your 12th house somehow. Flirt, New Love, and Big Happy Changes in the reverse. Okay. So I'm gonna look at both, okay, just in my little handy dandy chart, and just kind of see which one could resonate more, because I'm really feeling like for you guys, your karma will be translated into like your love life. So you actually, I feel like most of you guys will actually have a karmic partner, okay, or just karma regarding soulmate connections and love. But like, let's look at this. So for Leo, this is like creativity, regality, leadership, performance, being appreciated, valor, and self-assuredness. With the Aquarius, it's innovation, you know, technology, new age, future trends, exacting. I like looked it up on the computer because I saw the zodiac signs and I was mainly just focusing on that. I didn't see this card come out, but they said that the Aquarius in the 12th house, you could have like trouble working in groups, you know, of groups of people. Okay. I do want to kind of look real quick at the Leo, like what the website specifically says. You feel comfortable out of the spotlight. You thrive. You can be a powerhouse and a great leader when no one is looking at you. You can avoid attention, be shy and quiet publicly, and are more powerful than you seem. Okay. So, okay. I feel like when it comes to like more 12th house placements, basically the traits of the signs are pretty much opposite, underdeveloped when it's in the 12th house. Now, I'm not an astrologer, so obviously that I feel like it will depend every time, or it'll have like a little bit of a different meaning. I feel like, for one thing, Leo and Aquarius are actually opposite of each other on the natal chart, okay? There are some similar characteristics that they have, you know, just in different ways, basically. So you know how like Leo is the type of energy, you know, they stand out, blah, blah. I feel like for some of you guys, you actually struggle with this like confidence, okay? Because with the 10 of Cups clarified by the 3 of Swords, I feel like, you know, you maybe met someone that you thought was like the love of your life, you know, this could be a past energy, and then like, you know, they broke your heart. Like they just took, you know, they took out your heart and stomped on it, okay? And that could have really wrecked your self-esteem, okay? I feel like something, like, I'm just looking just how these cards are laid out right now. I feel like a fatal flaw that you might have is that you fall in love too quickly with people, okay? Like, you have a very fleeting, almost like a fickle type of energy, and like, you know, you could almost get like love at first sight, you know, and like be like, there's just this very flirty energy, and you think that the person is the one for you. You get these high expectations, these high hopes, because it's like you kind of base the center of your happiness into another person, okay? So I feel like this could generally be your karma, or maybe you've had multiple, you know, groups of friends that, you know, at one point either you had to cut out or they cut you out, and then after that you felt like a victim in the situation, okay? And in general, it could also just be about, you know, love. I'm thinking of the quote from The Perks of Being a Wallflower, like, we accept the love that we think we deserve. So I feel like for you guys, there is like a level of insecurity, you know, where you almost accept connections that aren't really genuine because you don't want to be alone, okay? Like, you could rely on other people to heal you. And then basically that's very bad because once it falls through the cracks, then you could be in like a state of depression because you almost lose this sense of self. I really feel like you put a lot of your life into the people around you. You put a lot of your hopes and your ambitions, you know, your success, whatever. I feel like you base it off of the people that are around you. Okay? And now for some of you, given like what it said about the Leo card, or Leo in the 12th house, this said that like instead of like being in a crowd and trying to stand out in a crowd, it said that like, you know, Leo in your 12th house, you're actually better when you work alone. You can achieve more from working alone. So honestly, I feel like you guys actually get brought down by big groups of people, okay? Obviously take what resonates, and not every part of the reading is going to resonate, because that obviously does sound like it's contradicting with the first part that I said, but there are a couple different energies here. I feel like some of you guys could be like a total hopeless romantic. I feel like it's just one of those things where you might not even realize it, but you actually are, you know, you actually are meant to be like independent people, and you think that you can't do something unless you have other people supporting you. But I feel like a lot of the time these people just kind of hold you back, because again, I feel like you could be more so getting involved in like very superficial type of connections, very like self-centered, you know, maybe just like the law of attraction, like basic law of attraction. Before you know anything about a person, all you know is how attractive they are, and then that's what draws you into them, and that's what makes you want to be their friend. And that's not just you specifically, that's actually just the law of attraction, like communications 101. I used to be a communications major in college before I switched it, and I've taken a few communications classes, and that was like the first thing I've ever really learned is like, you know, because like when we think of the law of attraction, we think of like, you know, spiritual tarot stuff, but like there actually is a physical, just human law of attraction, like, you know, without any spiritual knowledge. It's just basic communications, okay? But yeah, there's this thing called instant gratification. This is a very American trait as well. You don't have to be American. A lot of people from different countries watch my channel. But just that type of mindset where like you want something and you want it now, and you don't want it to be you don't want it to come in late, you want it to come in fast and quick. But then I feel like it becomes this disingenuous thing. Okay, so yeah, you could rush into relationships very fast, very prematurely, and then it blows up in your face. You could be very quick to form a commitment. Look how it goes from flirt to new love. I feel like, yeah, again, you guys could fall in love way too easily, and this doesn't just have to be with romance. This could in general be with friends. Like again, you could be, oof, verb confirmation. You could be almost like possessive over friends, like, you know, again, this level of insecurity, maybe like worry about them, you know, talking about you in a group chat, you know, like, you know, without you, or worried about people hanging out and you're not there, or, you know, like I feel like you worry a lot about what other people think about you, you know, that like self-assuredness really isn't there. It's like a very insecure type of energy, okay? Again, just a feeling of like jumping into a relationship simply because you don't want to be alone, not necessarily because of the quality of the relationship, you know, like quality over, or quantity over quality, okay? This could have been something that developed like when you were younger. I'm not really, well actually I am seeing young energy with the Page of Cups in the reverse. So it could be like maybe you got into your first relationship when you were like an adolescent, okay? And you know, maybe someone cheated on you, maybe it just didn't work out, right? Maybe you know, lost your virginity at a very early age and you regret it, okay? Because maybe the person that you were with you didn't really love, or maybe after they got what they wanted, they just kind of like left, right? Yeah, it could be, you know, it could be something like that. And I feel like you are very, very devoted when it comes to love, but it really is a vice for you, because it's not really love. it's like it's attention. I feel like when you get attention from other people, you construe it as true love. Okay? Some of you might even like fall in love with friends. Okay? Like actually, you know, fall in love with friends. And then it could almost affect the relationship, okay? Because there could be like an unrequited love, and then it could make the relationship with your friends awkward because you like them and then they didn't like you back, you know, that type of thing. But again, I just get the sense of like, you know, you could be walking down the street and someone could just grin at you and then you'll get a crush on them immediately. Like I just like confusing flirtation or whatever with like just flat out love. Okay? And I feel like it's like something where you think that it's going to be this amazing thing with this big happy changes, but because it's in the reverse, it just kind of blows up in your face. And I feel like this is probably a lesson you consistently have to learn. Cause yeah, it's just like some of you were probably like crying to Taylor Swift songs when you were younger. I just thought of like her song White Horse and then this lady with the blonde hair. I just thought of that one song. But yeah, you could have been like a Taylor Swift fan or something. You know, and yeah, like but a Taylor Swift energy, like whether you're a fan of her or not, you know, she writes songs about her exes, she writes songs about love, she's kind of like a hopeless romantic, or at least that's how she's portrayed in the media. I don't really follow her like that. But yeah, like people kind of make fun of Taylor Swift because she always like will talk about how she's like in love or whatever. Oh, I gave you my love and you threw it on the ground or whatever. I knew you were trouble when you walked in, but then I still got with you anyway, whatever. Like just that type of thing. And like then there's just like this victimization afterwards, you know, where it's like, if you knew that they were trouble, why did you get with them in the first place? You know, like you don't have to. You could be friends with them or whatever, or just not interact with them at all, you know. So yeah, it's just like I feel like there's almost like that knowing, like a clear knowing almost that someone is wrong for you, but you still try to jump into it anyway to hope that maybe you can change them or be proven wrong, and then it just blows up in your face. Now again, whether this is with friends or just lovers, I feel like it doesn't really matter. It can be one or the other, but either way, it's like you get your hopes up and then you get let down, and it's very disappointing. And then instead of just being like, okay, I'm gonna take a break from this for a while, or I'm just going to do me for a while and just be independent, and again, because independence is probably what really works for you, instead of being like, yeah, I'm gonna be very independent and just do my own thing and not worry about relationships right now, I feel like you just always just get into another relationship, or you always jump into a big group of friends, you know, and it's never even, you know. Let's see, I want to review the Aquarius in the 12th house. It's funny because like the last pile, it did have like 2 signs, but one sign was like repeated, so I knew it was that one. For you guys, it could either be Leo or Aquarius, but when I first pulled it, I thought it was Aquarius because I didn't notice that. But now I feel like it's mainly Leo energy with you guys. But I'm gonna revisit the Aquarius 12th house to see what that said. You're far more humanitarian than you come across as, and need to help other people in this life. When comfortable, you're innovative, independent, and a rebel. You can have a hard time dealing with people in the group. Okay, yeah, that's really funny. It's very similar. So yeah, it said you can have a hard time dealing with people in a group. So again, I feel like, you know, you could have groups of friends, but they're not real friends. They leave you out of things. You feel weird around them. You know, you don't really, you know, you don't really feel like at the end of the day they have your back, you know, that type of thing, okay? So really just relationships, friendships, romantic relationships. It's just karmic type of stuff. Okay. So basically, I feel like what this is mainly saying is you don't have to be single for the rest of your life, but you don't have to jump into every relationship, every friendship that you think looks good on paper, and then when you're in it, you're like basically suffering. I feel like the best advice for you guys is just to learn to be able to enjoy your independence, just be alone, and develop on your own and not rely on other people to like achieve any type of success or happiness. Okay? Don't get caught up in like status. Don't get caught up in like depending on other people, and be careful with falling in love so quickly and easily with people. Okay? I feel like you need to establish boundaries better. Okay? I feel like there's like a dreamy type of energy, like a very daydreaming type of energy that you have, where again, like, you know, you get very hopeful and you think that something is going to go amazing, and that you're going to be like, oh, it's different this time, but then it never is. Okay? So I really feel like, you know, at least at this point in your life when you're watching this, for you, it's the most beneficial to be on your own and really value your independence and value your own self-worth without needing to rely on other people and other relationships. And I feel like you'll thank yourself for doing that. Just make sure how much time I have on this. Okay. But yeah, that's all I'm really getting though, pile number 2, okay? So if you enjoyed that, you know, drop a like, you can comment, subscribe, go on Cafe Astrology, I'll put the link in my description. Actually check your birth chart, look for your 12th house, see if you actually are a Leo or Aquarius in your 12th house. It'll resonate even more for you if that's the case. See what your deep analysis of your chart says. If you would like a reading with me, I recently just put up like, you know, cheaper readings, like, you know, like yes or no, 1-minute readings, like TikTok type of readings, you know, like this is like, you know, $2, $3. You can do a little palm reading, $5, mainly just because it does take a lot of time to do it, you know, so I still wanted to make it pretty inexpensive, but it does take a lot of time to read a palm. Yeah, but that's more of a for fun thing. And then the more popular reading that I do is a YouTube video like this. It usually will be like an hour long, and that's $20. I just added a karmic reading, which is basically what I just did for you guys. But if you want a personal reading to like look into it more and not have other people's energy and get a more detailed reading about this, you can still get it as a YouTube video, or you can get it as an email, doesn't matter, but the reading itself is like $35, okay? But yeah, so just check the pricing on that. I have a TikTok. I posted a few things on there. Follow Breeze Tarot on TikTok, same as my username on here. And yeah, just visit the website if you want a reading. And if you're watching this the day that I upload this, check out my live on Friday, because I'm going to do general messages, and then I'm going to do little mini personal readings, so people in the comments are just going to ask, and I'll answer your questions really quickly. I do give you some detail there, and if you tip with Super Chat or PayPal, you bump your question up, and I get to yours first, but I basically do answer everyone's questions, okay? So, and it's really fun to interact with the subscribers and have everyone interact with each other. It's just like a nice community type of experience, especially while we're all home, okay? And if you're watching this in the future, I probably will still be having a live on Friday. Just check my channel out, and I'll mention it somewhere. But just be on the lookout for that. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. And leave suggestions for other type of readings that you want, or other type of pick of cards that you want, okay? So I'll move on to pile number 3. So those of you who chose pile number 3, the Evil Eye Bracelet. What's your 12th house, okay? Your karma in your life that you have to overcome, you have to learn from, something you might keep hidden, okay? We have the Moon card, Seven of Swords, the High Priestess, okay? These are both Pisces energy, or people consider High Priestess as Pisces energy. It's not officially tied to a zodiac sign, but if it were, it's Pisces energy. So yeah, you could have your 12th house in Pisces, okay? But obviously not all of you. We have the Ten of Pentacles. We have the Moon card again, so definitely Pisces energy. Five of Wands in the reverse. 10 of Wands. 9 of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay. Free yourself in the reverse. Past life relationship. And perfect timing in the reverse. Just make these a little straighter. Right. Okay, so I'm gonna look at my little handy dandy chart right here and just look at like the Pisces energy. I feel like whatever the qualities are generally for the zodiac sign, the 12th house pretty much is like the opposite of it, or like the shadow side of it, basically. Like something that you like basically could lack, you know? So Pisces energy. Okay, so this is about like intuition, okay? Transcendental spirituality, okay, empathy, and that makes sense because the Moon card is a very mysterious card, the unknown, and then like that's probably why the High Priestess is also associated with Pisces, because it's that same type of energy as the Moon card with mysterious, you know, mystery. Okay, so it's almost like the realm of the unknown is your karma in your life. Like that's your 12th house energy, okay? Now, in general, with like 12th house energy, this is basically just something you need to learn from, something that you keep hidden from other people, just things that you will learn throughout your life, whatever. Okay? It doesn't always have to be 100% negative, okay? So I feel like for you guys, your like your 12th house energy, your karma in your life is basically having to do with your spiritual knowledge, your empathy, your intuition. Okay, I'm gonna look at this website real quick. So you can come across as someone who is more assertive and aggressive than you actually are. When alone or comfortable, you're sweet, compassionate, and sensitive. You need to learn to show these qualities publicly without worry, and to listen to what your gut tells you. Okay. So, putting that together with this, and given how the Moon card is all about mystery, I feel like this could be more like you are a mystery to other people. I feel like you purposely like keep a lot hidden about yourself, and it makes it harder for others to get to know you. So I feel like there are a lot of connections that aren't necessarily genuine. You might come across, look, this is very sneaky, okay? You can come across as a very cold and like almost deceptive energy to other people, because it's like you wear a mask, okay? Now again, 12th house energy is something you keep hidden. So the funny thing is, I feel like you actually keep yourself hidden. I feel like you don't like to show your cards. You don't like people getting to know you. You're not really one to open up, okay? Like, yeah, again, you might come across as assertive or aggressive, maybe like, you know, maybe around certain people that you're very comfortable with, you do show your sweeter side, but that's something that not everyone sees. So I feel like if resting bitch face were a person, it would be you. It would be pile number 3. I hope you guys didn't get pissed off and just log out or exit out the video. But yeah, seriously, if resting bitch face were a person, I feel like it'd be you guys, pile number 3. You guys really are like that low-key emo type of energy. Like, I don't want anyone to know anything about me, and I'm mysterious or cool. But I feel like that's not good, because I feel like you have a tendency to push people away, okay? Let's see. Similar to pile 1, like every reading had some type of love related message in there somewhere, but similar to pile number 1, I feel like something that could kind of trigger this karmic healing about, like, you know, never really opening up about yourself could be a past life connection, okay? I feel like for some of you guys, you could be a runner, okay? You could be in that runner energy, not the chaser energy. So like, you know, you run away from anything that could really love you, that could really care for you, okay? You really don't like to show your sweet side. And again, you come across as very assertive and very aggressive, okay? It's just a very sneaky energy, okay? Some of you may even be almost like combative when people try to get you to open up, okay? Like maybe you deflect with sarcasm. Because you want to avoid the topic that really matters. Because I feel like to you, you think that it's like a conflict to show your true emotions. It's like you think that expressing your actual feelings is a bad thing to do, so you don't do it. Okay. I don't know why I grabbed the book, but I'll just look at that. 5 of Wands in reverse is like an increased focus on goals. So I kind of feel like, I don't know. Sorry. The cats are like walking around. There's probably a cat under my bed. I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, I feel like the 5 of Wands in the reverse clarifying the 7 of Swords. I almost feel like the goals that you guys have is to keep this like tough exterior of yours and not show your emotions. So again, whenever people do try to get you to open up, whenever there's like a love interest or even just friends that genuinely want to get to know you, you deflect and will do anything to keep your emotions hidden. It could almost be like, maybe like, I keep thinking about adolescent years, okay? Like, that's come up in every single pile. But I feel like you could almost be the type of person where, like, when you were, like, you know, in your adolescent youth, like, when you were a teenager, you thought it was, like, edgy to not express your feelings. Like, it was edgy to be emotionally detached. Like, to be like, whatever. You probably like, oh, yeah, it's very zen, okay? I'm kind of thinking of, like, Stephen Hyde from that 70s show, in that episode when he was, like, teaching Jackie how to not care. So basically he was like, oh yeah, just never show your emotion, just reply with, that's cool, and whatever. And she started doing that for the episode. So yes, I feel like for you guys, you probably thought that would make you seem cooler if you came off as just very aloof, but then I feel like that basically is what you ended up just being. You just became this very aloof, private person because you were so used to never expressing your emotions. Like, I literally, especially with this moon card and this lady, like, with the dark hair and, like, the mean kind of looking expression, I just feel like you think that You think that being that edgy person that pushes people away is cool or preferable. Or again, maybe you did when you were younger, but then you've done it so much that it literally became a personality trait. And it probably was something that was seen as okay when you were younger, but I feel like as you get older, people are like, okay, you need to get out of that. Why are you so, like, you need to stop. You're so standoffish. Like, you really need to stop trying to be a mystery. Stop keeping everything a secret. Okay, I'm also getting some Scorpio energy, not necessarily in the 12th house, but you could have Scorpio somewhere in your chart, okay? I'm kind of getting like you can almost be like a Scorpio rising, okay? You know? Like you just, you act very mysterious, you know, like, even around people that you know very well, you still have that very mysterious exterior to you where you don't want anyone to get to know you. People that have known you for years know nothing about you, you know? That could also be with the past life relationship. It doesn't just have to be about, like, you know, twin flame soulmate. This could just generally be talking about people that you've known since you were younger, since I guess not. But for some of you, for this message, it could just be about people that you've known your entire life since you were younger, and like you'd think that they know everything about you, but because you are so aggressive and refuse to be vulnerable, they don't even know you, okay? Like, even your closest friends don't really know you. And I feel like that is a bad thing. That is your karma. You need to learn how to get out of that. Because I almost feel like these secrets that you keep about yourself, I feel like it's just weighing on you. I feel like it's just a burden onto you with this 10 of Wands. Okay? Like, yeah, it's like you have a lot of secrets that you really hold close to you, and again, it doesn't just have to be like just secrets. It is also just talking about feelings. Like you keep your feelings very, very bottled up. You don't show any type of affection, and you probably started to notice, if you hadn't already known, but you're starting to notice that the people around you, like, you know, loved ones or whatever, are almost starting to get tired of it, and like they're just like, ooh, burp confirmation. They're just like, you know, you need to stop with this energy of like never wanting to open up about your feelings, you know? Because I feel like when you're by yourself, and it may be around like a very, very small group of people, you are this very sweet and caring person. So maybe when other people are like, oh my god, you know, you're so standoffish, you're kind of bitchy, you know, again, if resting bitch face was a person, it'd be you, whatever, you probably get almost defensive, and you're just like, actually, I'm a really nice person, and they're probably like, no, you're fucking not. Like, no, you're not, you're mean, you're annoying, you know. Well, I don't want to say annoying, no, I'm not getting annoying vibes, but like, it could be annoying to other people, you know. So yeah, I just feel like in general, people could be like, you're actually very mean, you're not really as nice as you think you are, or you say you are, but in reality, it's not really who you are, it's just how you come across, okay? So again, I feel like it could be very directly related to your rising sign as well. But yeah, you could be a very sweet person, a very sentimental person, but the way that you come across to other people is assertive and aggressive and mean, and you don't really come off as this genuine sweet person to other people, okay? But I feel like past life relationship, this connection that you are having with someone could be, you know, awakening you to this, triggering you, because that's what happens. And you could be like trying to overcome that, or if anything, at least you're now aware of it, so you can try to fix that. Okay? Because like I don't know, I do see this energy like with this 10 of Pentacles, that's literally family, and then the 9 of Pentacles in reverse, that's like going from being independent to in a relationship, like, you know, single to in a relationship. So I'm kind of getting like, even if you were in little relationships, you still were considered single because you're that closed off about everything. But I feel like, you know, when you reach the point where like you're with your person, you know, in the future, whatever, and you're getting married, you're gonna have to learn to be nicer, just to, you know, so that you can make I can't talk, a good impression on their family. You know, your in-laws, you don't want them to think that you're a bitch or something, because then they're gonna be like, I don't want you marrying my son or daughter because you're, you know, because you're so standoffish, we don't like you, you know. So I feel like that's something that you need to learn, because it's really making a really bad impression. I feel like just in general, people never get a good first impression on you, or a general good impression, even after knowing you for a long time, because they think that that's just how you are as a person. So you really need to learn how to get out of that energy and to be more open. Now, obviously, if it's in your chart, you can't help it. It's something that, you know, but again, it's something you need to learn from. So now that you're aware of it, you can try to open up more and not be so aggressive. Like, you can really express how you feel to people and stop trying to have this like sneaky energy. It's okay to be vulnerable. There's nothing wrong with opening up to people and being a nice person. Also, lift your eyebrows. just try it. Just raise both of your eyebrows and try to do that, because you look nicer when you raise your eyebrows, because it lightens up your face. It makes you look more like, it makes you look more approachable and nicer, you know, sweeter, as opposed to if you let your eyebrows rest, they kind of become furrowed, and then you have like an angry look on your face. Okay, so if you want to in general look nicer, not like attractiveness, but like look like you're a nice person, then try to just get into the habit of just, you don't have to smile all the time, but get into the habit of raising your eyebrows, looking people in the eye when you talk to them more, instead of like avoiding eye contact. Open up a little bit more in conversations and stop acting like like you're on trial and that you can't say anything, you know? Like, not everything has to be a secret. Open up to people. Okay? Look in the mirror and relax your face and see if you do have a resting bitch face, because it could be very intimidating. And again, raise your eyebrows if you do see that, okay? I feel like with this, you need to free yourself from yourself, okay? Free yourself from your usual way of acting that's not good for you, because it could be like, it's just very self-destructive, okay? Like, I feel like your karma doesn't have to do with anyone else. It's a very self-destructive energy, okay? Now this with the perfect timing. All of these angel answer cards have been the reverse, by the way. Honestly, I'm kind of getting like, it's never going to be the perfect time, just do it now, okay? Learn to be more, again, more vulnerable, more genuine towards people, and stop being so closed off and start doing it now. Don't wait for another sign. This is your sign. Don't wait until you're in a relationship with your twin flame or soulmate because you want to be like, oh, well, I want to make a good impression on their family. You know, do it now. Learn to open up more and just be nicer, okay? And, you know, to just stop being this mysterious, aloof person. Engage people in conversation. just learn to be a little more transparent. And obviously that doesn't mean you have to give away, you know, your entire, you know, your social security or anything like that. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means just opening up more than you are currently, because the way how you interact with other people, even people that you've known your entire life, they don't know anything about you. And again, all you're doing is burdening yourself. This is a very self-destructive behavior that you have. It's time to get out of that. Okay. That is all I'm seeing for pile number 3, okay? So yeah, if you're watching this the day that I upload it, subscribe and catch my live on Friday, because I'll be doing general messages for the collective, and then I'll be answering questions, and you can give a tip through super chat and then ask a question and it'll bump up faster, or you can do PayPal, or you can just generally ask a question. I will be answering free and paid questions. However, I do appreciate donations, and when you pay, your question gets bumped up. I've been doing lives for like a couple weeks now, so I'm getting more viewers when I'm doing it, especially on Fridays. So I do have a lot of questions coming in, so you can definitely skip the line by supercharging. Oh my god, super chat or PayPal again. Do a little tip with your question, and then boom, you get bumped right up, okay? Also, yeah, I have a TikTok. It's the same as my username on here, Breeze Tarot. You can follow my TikTok, and I do mini, 1 minute pick a card general messages if you use TikTok. I also do post them on YouTube afterwards, so, just be on the lookout for that. Check out my website in my description. Check out your natal chart. I will put Cafe Astrology's website in my description, and just see if you actually do have Pisces in your 12th house, because it'll resonate even more, okay, if that really is in your 12th house. Otherwise it's just energy, but and yeah, I've updated my website, and I put a lot of like very affordable readings. I have $2 yes or no readings, a $3 1 minute video, like a TikTok type of video reading to give to you, $5 palm reading, because it just takes a lot of time to like sit with the picture of your hand and just type everything out, so it's like $5, but pretty cheap. And then after that, it's my general readings that I've already had, including the most popular reading that I do, which is a YouTube video like this, around an hour long, and it's $20, and I make it pretty much right away, and then I give it to you, and then you have a nice long, in-depth, personal reading at your disposal whenever you want, and it's uploaded privately onto my channel just for you. And I also, basically similar to this reading, that's kind of why I'm doing it, I guess, to be like, oh hey, whatever, but I just felt called to it. But I also wanted to open up that as a separate personal reading. So $35, and you can reach out to me and get a personal reading, so we can actually really look into your specific karma and even more energy, because this is just a general reading. Even though it went into a lot of detail, it was a general reading. So yeah, if you get that, then we can really, really get into the root of your karma and your life, your overall karmic cycles, your soul contract, basically, okay? Yeah, that's $35. I try to make my readings pretty affordable. $35, that is the highest price that I have on my channel, and yeah, there are a lot of different options for readings, so yes, if you want one. And also, you can comment down below if you like the reading, subscribe, whatever, and just be on the lookout for more. And obviously, you can leave suggestions for future readings. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys next time, okay?